It's time to do it differently. Okay, friends, I am going to do something that I haven't done here before. And it's because Source keeps telling me to tell you that it's time now to begin differently. You know, a lot of us here in the 5D, in the new earth, it's not the first time that we've heard, it's always an opportunity. Every day is an opportunity to begin again, whatever. Be in a beginner state of mind. But I feel like a lot of us are just hearing the words and we're not actually doing it. And Zero's been telling me through this whole 333 portal, through this eclipse, friends, do you feel this energy that is building right now? Saturday, this Aries new moon and the solar eclipse, I don't know. I don't even know. We don't get to know. We don't get to know. And I'm not figuring it out. I don't know what April is going to be other than beyond anything I can dream of. That's what I keep hearing, and I'm here for it. But anyways, where I'm going with this is that I'm here today to be living proof of what Zero is bringing through. I, this morning, have had a lot come through, and it's thanks to all of you. I was in the comments, and just so you all know, like, I read and see things. I just don't have the time to respond to everything. I see all the questions. I did reply to one question because I felt deeply called yesterday to reply to the comment that came up. You can watch yesterday's video if you need to know what I'm talking about. But anyways, I felt the call and then I created that video. And that is what creation looks like in the 5D, in the New Earth paradigm. That's what creating what doesn't exist yet is. Someone asked a question. I just felt the call. Usually I'd reply with a comment. I deeply felt. I tried to resist it for like an hour. And I just knew I needed to come on and record a response to it. So I did. No reason other than that's what I felt called to. My ego consciousness tried to convince me not to, but I chose to push through that. Now, this morning, I've had a bunch more lessons from Zero in that. And right now, they're calling me to do something that I'm resisting doing. But I also have to be here now in complete authenticity, vulnerability, and integrity. That is my commitment to you and honestly, just to me. This is out of devotion to me and me embodying me. Because the big thing that we all are needing to realize, Sarah keeps telling me that this is what it is we've got to, whenever we're in doubt, what feels like devotion right now to you. And when we get in our ego consciousness, doubting ourselves, doubting if this is right, if this is what I should do, if this is what I should comment, if this is what I should choose, doubting it'll work out for you, does it feel like, if you choose it, does it feel like devotion to you? Does it feel good to you to think of what if you did it and it did work out how it's meant to? What if you did follow this call to create this podcast, not this one, the podcast I created, Messy, Magical, Magnetic, just creating and sharing my thoughts every day. And I just felt that call. It felt like devotion to me. I didn't care if I shared it with anyone. Anyways, I'm not going to go too long into that because I'm going to share something in a moment. But there are big things right now that they keep bringing through is we have to begin again, but in a whole new way. And we don't get to know what that is. We just got to keep showing up as the new humans we're here to be in the now moment, following the calls, especially when they don't make sense. So yesterday's video was proof of that. Even though we can make sense as to why I did that, like I could have just given a quick comment, but I felt the call, it was a video. So I followed that call. And then I heard from the person who made the comment that what they heard was basically beyond words. Anyways, so I didn't know what I was saying. I just said what I felt called to say. The other thing they keep bringing through to me that I feel I'm meant to share with you right now is it's time now. It's time now. And where we're going, friends, embodiment over effort, devotion over doubt, embodiment over effort. This is how we play and create in the 5D and beyond. And I did see a few comments of people, how do we play and create? I'm being living proof of it. You just do what you feel called to. You play with Source. Source wants to play with you. That's what they told me when I woke up this morning. We're going to play with you today in a whole new way. And I was like, oh, fuck. What are they going to make me do? Because we know I'm here to be led and guided by Source, by Zero, and share with you all in what comes through. So I knew I was going to be pushed out of my current comfort zone. And so here I am. So anyways, to go to the effort and embodiment, it's so key. We are always doing, but we need to be doing through being. So we're being, and then when we're being and we're here now, you may be doing human mundane things, but when you're consciously choosing to be there embodied in your light, in your truth, and you want to be doing the laundry because you want the clean clothes and you're not rushing through it. Anyways, I'm not going to speak to what you're about to hear, but embodiment. It's being there present, and there's no effort in being you. Everything we think we have to and should do feels like effort for us. But when we're here and we play and we create and we embody, magic and miracles happen. So devotion over doubt, embodiment over effort, and begin again in a whole new way. That's what this whole Miracle March has been for me, and all of you that have been a Messy Magical Magnetic, going on this journey with me and starting our day, drinking the water, devoting to ourselves. It has been game changing. Begin again differently. So here's what I'm doing. I'm stalling now. I felt the call to share with you today's 2 audio transmissions from Zero and I in Messy Magical Magnetic. Now, this is not, you're welcome. It terrifies me, as you'll hear, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, it's my baby. It's just me. It's just me, vulnerably feeling safe to share whatever wants to come through that day. And today, Zero, because every day through March, Zero has been bringing through a channel transmission that I just show up. I literally just sit here and press record, and they bring through very early in the morning, whatever they want to. And then that usually activates me. And then I bring through what I feel called to afterwards. And it's, anyways. So we're on like day 25. This is March 25th. I had to look, of that. And so I just feel so deeply that someone out there is meant to receive Zero's channeling today, that if it's meant to make sense, if it resonates, it's going to really help you in whatever you're being called to do now differently, in a higher frequency, out of devotion and embodiment, not out of doubt and effort. And you'll get that. So there's not going to be video because Messy Magical Magnetic is just an audio podcast. This is usually what I look like. Like, I haven't even left my room yet because I know that my cat will wake up, and I just have been like on this stream, and I needed to bring this through even though it terrifies me. So I am going to put 2 audios. It's just going to be a black screen. After this, it'll be Zero, and then it will go to me, and it's just my then take on everything they brought through. And I don't know why. Doesn't make sense to my ego. And this is me again trying to give you the examples, because apparently that's what I designed myself to be, is an example for you. So right now my ego consciousness is like, they would be in Messy Magical Magnetic if they wanted to be. That's for those that are meant to be there. But Source, me here now, my divinity, me being here embodied and feeling into what feels like devotion to me, I'm so excited to share this with you. And I don't know why. My ego consciousness is terrified because it feels, it's just a vulnerable thing for me. But that's what we're here for. We're here for authenticity and vulnerability. And I want to show you and be the living proof that when we are just who we're here to be, and we in the now trust the call and we share, it creates what it's meant to. So I know everyone in Messy Magical Magnetic will receive what they need, but today I feel called to share it with you. If it does resonate and you do feel called to go into a more intimate, deeper container with me, you are always welcome. I drop about Messy Magical Magnetic sometimes. But anyways, Zero's just letting me know there's some of you out there that will receive what others are receiving in this, in the very human way. Anyways, I feel all like, about it. But I know that that's like resistance. So this is me resisting my divinity. And like the feeling of like, don't even share this, like just start again, Courtney. That's my ego consciousness, because this is me just beginning again differently today and doing my YouTube video in a whole new way and just sharing some audios with you that I feel called to. At this point, I don't even really remember what I said, but I do feel like those of you that are curious about how we play and create in the unknown, how we truly embody the light and how to live in devotion and embodiment over in doubt and effort, you're going to receive what you need. And if this isn't for you, it's not for you. And that's perfectly fine too. Move on to another YouTube video. But if you're still listening to me and you're curious, it will now turn to black. Bye, friends. Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to another episode of You Choosing You. We love you so much. Thank you for being here with us today. Breathe. Breathe. Fully, deeply, completely. As you breathe, observe. Just observe. As you breathe here now, and feel here now, when was the last time you just were? When was the last time you just breathed and felt and were present? Without the pressure, without the doing, just being. And as we ask this, we want you to observe what comes up. This is all from love, not judgment. We are here to shine the light of consciousness, to shine the light of you on what you are choosing. Not so that then you judge, shame, guilt, blame yourself or anyone else, but all of you do it way more to yourself. And when you stop doing that to yourself, you will stop doing it to everyone else. Because the only reason you're ever judging anyone else is because of something you're holding on to within you. Because when you see that you are the one, the way, you are whole, you are complete, and you love yourself and give yourself what you need, everything else is magic and miracles. And we know you know, that we very much get that you're on a human journey. That was your part of this contract, to be there in that human body. And so it can feel complicated, and you can make it complicated in how, in when, in why, in what if. But what if I just trust the universe and nothing happens? So you doubt and you question. And really, ultimately, all you're doing is doubting and questioning yourself. Now, we know that you have to find in your human beingness and your divinity the harmony, because otherwise the nervous system that you have in that body will go haywire. And we don't want that. But the only reason that's happening is because you're not being present and receiving what's here now. The information, the wisdom, the guidance is all here now, and you just have to be the portal to receive. And we want to make this as simple as possible today. Just do what brings you present, not because it's going to then magically pay all your bills and create your dream life. Although it will lead and guide you there. But when you put the pressure on that, you're instantly taking the 5D unknown new earth paradigm away from it. You're going into the old earth with the new earth things you're here to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. And many of you have done that. And Courtney did that for a long time. She's followed her passion, done a lot of things she loves, but always in the 4D ways, trying to fix and problem solve. And then you get burnt out, resentful. You aren't showing up as you want to because you put the pressure on that this has to pay the bill. This has to turn into 10 clients. This has to be whatever you feel it has to be. And then you're limiting it. When you know, you know. And for the most part, it usually doesn't make sense. But as you're doing it and creating, the proof will be there. So this journey that you're clearly on, if you're listening to this, you are in a creation of Courtney's called Messy, Magical, Magnetic that she chose to bring through. She did not know. We knew, but she did not know for sure if she would ever share this with you. Anyone, because who would want to listen? Who would want to listen to her just saying what she wanted to say every day, not having a plan, and just creating in the unknown that day what she felt called to say? But nothing lit her up more than doing this. And still doesn't, as she keeps sharing with you. And she's creating. And it's quote unquote working because here you are. And it's not the fact that there's those of you here paying her for this. That's not the purpose of this. Yes, that is an energetic exchange that she is worthy of for putting her time and energy into this instead of something else, as you all deserve. And we're going to go deep into this with you today. So just listen, just breathe and listen and receive what you're meant to hear from your highest in this transmission. So using this, because we love to use examples that we know you have to be experiencing, which is this creation. How this is successful for Courtney right now and why this is working is because she's seeing in the chat and she's receiving emails from you and she's hearing from your higher selves, and it's not as much, very few of you, really at this point only one of you, has reached out to her either in the chat or privately about something that we have brought through in our transmissions, changing you. Every single one of the responses she has got, the love she has got from you all, has been from her soul spills, as she calls them, because she's just there sharing her soul, spilling it out, not knowing what's going to come through. And yes, we are purposely bringing through March these transmissions to activate her and activate you, so it's all a part of it. But what you're receiving the most, we're not saying you aren't receiving from us, and ultimately it is all us, it is all you, right? But it's just different vibrations of frequency. So we vibrate at a very high level of frequency, and we don't have the ego consciousness that Courtney has, and she turns that off, just to put it into the easiest human words, so that we can come through. And it was a very long journey, a linear journey on her experience. Not for us, it wasn't long, but for her it was, to get here. But that is why this came through, so that she could see that it is embodiment over effort. She has put effort in her whole life. She cares and feels so deeply. You're probably going to feel her emotions coming up as we speak this, because we're still coming through her body. She's feeling as we speak beyond the words, but she's hearing nothing right now because she's not meant to, because then she will dilute our message to you. And this has been a process to get here, and you all have this gift, however it's meant to come through for you, but it comes from surrender and trust in you and letting go. And so being in the now and just doing and playing and creating with what brings you present, what brings you joy, because that is where you are then in the portal of your highest, and you can just receive. It's when you are not in your thinking mind trying to figure it out, and then just follow those calls. And then what happens is your super consciousness will lead and guide you. You will feel deeply, even though your ego consciousness, Courtney's ego consciousness had all the reasons why. messy, magical, magnetic was not what she should do and shouldn't share. And especially when she first put it all together after a month of just creating and saying things and then listened back. But she chose to push through that discomfort. And if she hadn't, we wouldn't be here in this way coming through for you. If she hadn't followed through. And she had no plan, no intention other than she just really chose she wanted to do this for her and trusted if she made it clear that this was for those who were here to truly hear what it's like to live super consciously, to live in multiple dimensions, very aware that you are, because that's what she's doing, and not denying and not gatekeeping and pretending and bypassing, but just sharing. And this is her way, and this is how she's meant to do it. For others of you, it's baking, it's dancing, it's accounting, whatever it is for you, fixing bikes, planting trees, whatever it is that brings joy to you is what you're here to do in the new earth through being. And then if you continue to choose that, the magic and miracles will appear. But we love you so much. So many of you are still trying to figure out how doing what you love will solve your problems. It won't, because there's no problems to solve. You are not broken. And as soon as you can truly shift out of that paradigm and just create all the things that currently you think are problems, you will see and get what we mean and how they really are all the greatest catalysts. Because all the things right now that you are holding against yourself, all the excuses you have, all the ways you feel you're doing it wrong, all the things that you think you need to do or be or have or look like to be worthy, all of that is alchemy from your journey, and you all have it. And the more you go into the unknown, you will see, just as you're experiencing through Courtney here, her shares of living her life and all the ways that have been challenging for her and she's gone through and trusted herself are all what are impacting you. And if she didn't have these stories and the memory and the history, what would she share? She would just be here with us. It's a part of the human adventure. And you get to now be the identity of you that is healed from all of that. And as you go forward into the unknown, you will get that. And you are in ways, many of you. And just continue to play and create in the now. And that may mean doing things that are mundane. But when you're there because you want to be there, because you want to have clean laundry, and you choose consciously to do this, it's a different experience than just rushing through it to get the next thing off your to-do list. There will never be an end to your human to-do list. But when you breathe, that's your cue to breathe and feel and choose to be where you are. Choose to be where you are, present and conscious, receiving. And when you're doing the mundane things, that's where the greatest breakthroughs can come through. Because as we've brought through for you before, your subconscious programming is busy. It's busy and it feels safe doing the laundry or cooking dinner because it just knows how and it's something you do to survive. So it's not necessarily in guard mode. It's not not being the security guard to your life, trying to find the threats and the danger. And so that's when we can drop in a little bit easier. It's when you're driving, when you're showering. and you're just doing what you know how to do in moments where you don't have pressure on yourself to figure something out. So you're not in your thinking mind and you're just present. And even though it might not be the most like magical in a breathwork ceremony, drinking cacao experience, the magic is in the mundane as much as it is the plant medicine or the meditation cushion you think you need to sit on. It's actually more in the mundane than anywhere else. And then that turns each, and we're just using the word mundane as your daily life, all the things that you just do in robot mode that you've trained yourself to do. If you choose to be there instead of just rushing and trying to get to the next thing, we promise you that you will receive what you think you need, but beyond that. But even when you're there now that we've brought this through, what can happen is then you're doing the laundry and you're like, Zero said when I did the laundry, they were going to talk to me. So then you're seeking and searching for how we're going to come through. And it could be that suddenly you feel the urge to listen to a prop podcast while you're doing that. And that gives you a breakthrough. Could be a kid running in and wanting to color with you. And you decide, you know what, I'm lit up by that and I'm going to color with you. And then you're coloring with them and the color yellow sparks a memory of childhood. And then you remember this passion you had. And then you go get a book that talks more about that. And then all of your problems are solved because now you're a genius in that way from that yellow crayon because you were doing laundry and your kid wanted to color. Literally, limitless. If you play in the unknown, if you create in the now. It's embodiment over effort, friends. It's devotion over doubt. When you catch yourself in doubt, what would feel good to devote to for you? When you're doubting if this will work for you, when you're doubting that this can pay your bills, feel into what it would feel like to devote to you in whatever way you feel called to choose you because you want to, not because of a desired outcome, not because of what it will bring you, but because the idea of doing it, being it, creating it, expressing it, feels good. When you're embodied in the now, in the frequency of you, whatever that means for you, and you're doing what you're doing, you're flowing, you're creating, you're playing, there's no effort there. You get so much done all the time. Do you really think that if you just lived in the now, breathing and being and embodying and trusting in the calls, you wouldn't get the shit done? Because if it ends up that way, that you just fall behind in life, do you not think that then your human doing self would not pick up the pace and figure it out and fix the problems that it's been trying your whole life to fix? It will, but it won't have to. But the only way you can truly know what we're meaning and speaking to and what's there for you is if you follow the calls in the now. So breathing right now, feeling right now. You will be rewarded. People will sign up for your podcast where you just want to share for no reason other than you want to share in the unknown. They will. Or whatever else it is that you just want to do. But you are here to be the creator of it. This doesn't exist without Courtney and you and us. And we're all one. We're all expressions of consciousness vibrating at a certain frequency. You are vibrating at a very high frequency. You have the ability to vibrate even higher and access higher consciousness. That is all you. So the more you choose you and you go into the unknown and you stop playing in the old earth paradigms and taking your 5D experiences to the 4D, now you can then embody, you can choose. So Courtney could have, to give one more example to this, Courtney could have created this podcast and then stressed about how to promote it, how to put it out there. She hasn't even sent an email about it. Like those of you that are here, either we're in Superconscious Mastery or just she's mentioned it a few times in a YouTube video and it's in the show notes. There's no ads, there's no anything. There's no pressure. If you were meant to see it and you felt called to be here, you're here. And that's doing it in the 5D way. Not saying that she wouldn't benefit from doing some emails and ads and whatever, because this truly will help more that are aligned with her, and that her sharing in her life is having you see the ways that you are acting out of alignment with your highest, but only you can see that. You're the only one that can see that in your own way. And your highest will bring through the words and the messages from Courtney's shares and ours that you're meant to hear. But she's doing this from a place of love, not force, and not fear. And she's not doing this to solve any problems. She could do this in the way she's done before, where she's putting it out there that you have to listen to this every day. And if you listen to this every day, then your life will be changed. Now, if you listen to this every day, most likely your life will change. Actually, friends, here's the fun thing. Regardless, it's going to change. So time anyone says, if you listen to this, your life will change forever. Yeah. Every moment your life is changing forever. Everything is changing you all of the time. But what you continue to put your focus on is what truly creates your reality. So when you choose to continually listen to things or read things or be a part of things that put you in a frequency that feels good for you, that is going to positively affect your reality. But when you're continuing to choose to listen to and do and be in things that are not in alignment with your highest frequency, those are going to negatively impact your reality. And again, we speak in the words of your humanness, saying negative and positive, because it's your humanness it's creating if it's a negative or positive experience. For your soul, it just all is. And it's here to experience it all. But now it's time for you to be who you're here to be, which is a being in the 5D. And the only way that you can do that and be the new human you're here to be, because you wouldn't be receiving this if you didn't have the codes within you to be the new human in the new earth. Continually having new light codes, DNA activated to show you the way, and you doing that will show others the way, but not through force and fixing and effort, through freedom and flow and embodiment of your light, of your truth in the now. So breathing again. You get to choose. Have fun with this human being that you are there to play with. Dress them up how you want to. Feed them how you want to. Move them how you want to. Because it feels good. Not because someone else told you you should. Even though we are, but you get what we're saying. But because you want to. This is how you want to express yourself. This is the art you want to make. When you are there in the now, you are channeling. So bring through what wants to be created through you. It can be an email, it can be a question, it can be cleaning the dishes, it can be anything, everything, friends. Bringing your hands to your heart. And again, breathing deeply, fully inhaling, fully exhaling. And just allowing yourself to be. Feel into your heart. Bring all of your awareness, your consciousness here, now. What are you receiving? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? What right now feels good to do, to choose to be? If there's nothing there, perfect. Do nothing. Just be. If there's a calling, follow it. And watch if your ego consciousness gives you a to-do list. More important, there's nothing wrong with it, but awareness is key. And just continue to choose to devote to you more and more every day, embodying your divinity. Devotion and embodiment, friends. Play and create. You know the way. We love you. Hi, best friend. Oh, I loved today. I loved it. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, so hopefully you listened to Zero before me. Maybe you didn't. Zero made some very good points that I have to address. So yes, it is true. This truly feels, it's so fun. Okay, this feels like the most successful thing I've ever done, and there's not that many of you here yet. I do truly trust there will be when you're meant to be here. Most of you that are here now have found me with definitely no effort from me because this is like so sacred to me. So I drop it when I feel called to drop it in a video. It's in the show notes of my YouTube videos, and pretty much that's why you're here. And that's why I love it so much, because it's truly, to me, New Earth 5D creation. Every single morning, I'm so excited for what's going to come through. And as Zero said, like hearing from you all, and I just feel it. Like, it's okay if you haven't reached out to me, you don't have to, but feeling and hearing like the things in like just such random to me shares, or like, because as I've told you right now when I'm talking, I'm not thinking, definitely not when I'm bringing through Zero, but this is how I've always functioned my whole life when I'm leading, when I'm teaching, when I'm doing anything. As soon as I start talking, I don't think, it just comes out. But because, as I've told you before, my mom does that in a very judgmental way. Like, she doesn't think before she speaks, but she has a lot of opinions that she doesn't think should hurt people's feelings. And they come from love, but anyways, they're very much like, she feels the need to tell anyone, with, just to give you an example of what it is. But like, my mom hates white sunglasses, which, fair, whatever, but she feels a need to tell people when they're wearing them. I think she's stopped now, but in my childhood, like, she thought she was doing people a service telling them they didn't look good. And like that, like, so to me, like, I watched this and I was so hypersensitive and aware, and like could feel people's feelings being hurt. And so I think that like that's a lot of what's held me back. And like, I do have her gift of just being able to talk for hours, but I didn't talk much as a child because she was always talking. But she spoke unconsciously. And that's why when I first heard the word superconscious and started to really put like it just made sense to me as to our highest consciousness and what it is and how I've always been and seen things. And but I used to feel like I had to be so hyper aware of what I was saying because I was so afraid of ever saying the wrong thing or offending or hurting anyone's feelings or whatever, right? You get it. But anyways, it's just, it's that, like, it was, I saw her and people's reactions to her, and I like never wanted to do that. But I had this deep like call to just talk. And so I was so quiet, but then like put me on a stage, give me a mic, put me in the front of a room. And now I know I would just channel, because I literally would feel like I just like black out. But clearly I don't. I'm there, but there's like no thought. So anyways, so now when I just bring things through like this, and that's why when like this first hit to do this, and I started to actually do it and literally gave myself no expectations. Like even if I never shared it, I didn't really care, because I just wanted to start to record these thoughts. And liked when it shifted me from, it's not that I hadn't done like audio journaling before or whatever you want to call it, but it was different when I was doing it with the like intention that I may share this with others. So I actually like feel like I'm speaking to someone. And I also feel like as soon as I do that, whether there's people live here with me or not, like higher selves are here. So I'm not just guided by zero. It's like whatever is meant to come through me in my humanness, if that's making sense. Anyways, so that's why this truly feels like the most successful, because it's like literally the most fun, the most easy, the most me. And hearing just like how simple little things I share are having such high impact for some of you, like that to me is like the greatest, because I used to put in so much effort. Oh, I love how Zero just brought through embodiment over effort. I put in so much effort in everything that I do, because I care so fucking much, and I see so much, and I get so much. But also, as like I was just this morning in the chat and like reading in some of the shares there from Bridie and Sam and others, like, yeah, we think that these things don't matter. Like for Sam, almost not sharing things because we all already know this. No, it's so fun. I can sit here every day and be like, well, why do I need to channel another message from zero? We just keep saying the same thing. Everyone knows this. Everyone's saying this. Everyone else is talking about this. Why do I need to? Even in starting my YouTube, there's enough people doing channeled messages. There's enough people doing card readings. Like, why do I matter? Why does my perspective matter? My human could do that all day long and still could be. But there was that deeper calling, and you just don't know how your message, your lens, your way of seeing things, your magic is going to impact others. If I sat here every day, which I used to do, trying to figure out what I was supposed to say and create courses, it was all with good intention, all impacted people, but not to this level. And if I sat here and I thought about it and I tried to figure it out and I scripted out stuff and I had lesson plans and all of that, that is not my magic. That is other people's magic. Some people love that, like creating slides and lessons and visuals and all the things. That's not my magic. So when I do that, there's resistance from the universe. Things don't work. I don't enjoy it. I resist it. I don't want to do it. And then there's things that just call me so deeply, like creating this and just continuing to show up and having literally no point, no reason. That's the point, friends. Like it's just doing it and embodying and not efforting through, and like having the doing through being, because I'm still doing, but it's creation. Right? This doesn't exist. You aren't going to find this podcast episode anywhere else unless someone literally copies it. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, and if I didn't decide to talk today, it wouldn't have come through. You wouldn't have found these words somewhere else in the way I'm putting them together. This is embodiment. This is anchoring the light. This is playing and creating in the unknown. I didn't figure this out before I got here. Now, if I was someone who scripting lit me up, then that would be the beginning of this creation. I'd get lit up by writing out a script. I wanted to speak to you and then sharing it, but that doesn't light me up. So that would be effort. This is embodiment. for anyone that needs that clarity, because I get asked, like, what is embodiment? It's this. It's just being and embodying. But that could be writing and scripting. That could be accounting. That could be being a brain surgeon. That can be anything if you're there, embodied, present, doing what lights you up, in devotion to you, not doubting. Because if I was, just this wants to come through, if I was creating a script to come on, or even like on YouTube, right? If I was like, I need to create a script for my daily channeled messages, because that's what all the YouTubing coaches told me, is that's the way to do it. And like, have that first 30-second hook, and make sure that your YouTube title and your thumbnails match what you say in the first 30 seconds, and all the rules. And it fucking like crushed my dreams of YouTubing. And I tried to do it that way, and no one responded, right? But others, and especially the people I learned that from, like, they're thriving. They love it. They love to create a script full of wisdom, and then read it and deliver and edit their videos and make them look so cool and professional and have the perfect thumbnails and the SEO titles. None of that brings me joy. So that would be effort of doing the same thing that right now I'm doing out of embodiment. But there's others that embodiment for them is the lit upness they get of making the script and creating a channel that's teaching you something specific, and they have a niche and they love it. There's others then that do that because they just want to make money. And I guarantee you, friends, you know the difference. Because it's all frequency and vibration. People will be drawn to people that are forcing and that are controlling their message and that are inauthentic, because authenticity and vulnerability is terrifying to people that aren't being. So they're going to be more drawn to the people that are acting in the third and fourth dimensional ways of control and manipulation and force and effort. That doesn't mean we're doing it wrong. It doesn't mean they're doing it wrong. That's the level that they're at. And I've had to really be okay with that, because I used to just want to get everyone to get it. But now I see I just have to be embodied in me and have fun and play and create and be in devotion, not doubting myself. It's not to say I don't see my ego's fears and doubts and insecurities come up. I see them and I allow them. Doesn't mean that I'm not hurt by some things that are said or comments that are made on my YouTube or whatever. But then there's usually 89 other positive messages to one person that's clearly not in alignment and isn't in a frequency and vibration where embodiment and light and me just being me is going to resonate with them. It doesn't mean I'm better than or they're worse than. It's alignment. We're out of alignment. And we can understand that. And they can't. They're human consciousness. So if we exhaust ourselves trying to get them to understand that, it just creates more tension and low frequency energy. So I don't engage with the negativity, because I used to feel like I had to defend myself. But that was just back when I was still holding on to those beliefs that people would trigger in me, and they'd say something and I would feel the negativity because I still had this belief or judgment about me. But I now know, because I continue to push through, that I know everything I share and everything Zero brings through is true for me. And that's all that can matter to us. And when I stopped trying to find the proof of everything that I share and I wanted to share and Zero wants to share through me, and I just embody my divinity in the now and let it come through how it's meant to, messy, human, fucking high frequency, divine Zero coming through, whatever it is, your highest, whatever it is, however I want to label it, it feels good. And I literally have now tangible proof, like our realities are mirrors of the choices we're making. So you can think all day about what you want to do, but if you aren't embodying being the you that is following through for you, you're just going to keep seeing the proof outside of you of what you're choosing. So you have to start to show up and just create and play. And as Zero brought through with, like, really hear that, like, So to use this as they did, this creation as this example, like, yes, if you're here, you're paying me for this, which is great because I'm worthy of that. And I have to, I'm a human living in a human world. For me to bring through the magic I'm meant to, like if I had to work a 9 to 5 and be in that frequency, and I was in the beginning, I found something that was creating enough for me to pay my bills and feed myself so that I could just start to show up on YouTube every day and trust in that call. I didn't put the pressure like I have in the past where to start this business and my passion needs to become the way I pay my bills. And I just trusted and did, as Zira said, in the 5D way. I just created from embodiment and devotion of what I wanted to do. And I still made the human choices to make sure that my human could have the things it needs to survive and not put my nervous system in fight or flight, and just continued to trust. So you have to find the harmony and the balance and just bring through what brings you joy, and you will be surprised at the way the magic and miracles come through. But it's all in the unknown when you're there now and you are in that, and you're present and you're being that portal, doing the laundry, dancing, playing cards with your kids, whatever it is, and something, you're just there and you're present so you can receive. We can only receive, friends, we can only receive from higher consciousness in the now. And yes, as much as physically we're always here, we're mentally always trying to be somewhere else when we're in ego consciousness. So we aren't receiving, we're thinking about the future. You may get an idea and then you try and figure out how to make it something in the future. Now that doesn't mean that I don't get hit with things and then I'm like, oh, but it's easy. It's easy. Like I got hit a year ago with the Light and Love Club. It's coming through when it's meant to. I feel we're getting closer, but I'm not forcing it. Other things are meant to come through before, and you just like trust. Messy, magical, magnetic came out of nowhere, and it's literally transforming everything daily for me. Like I had no idea when I woke up this is what I would be saying to you, and so we've just got to be here as often as possible and consciously choose to be where we are, not rushing through that to-do list trying to get to the next thing. Maybe you heard, I remember I did an audio like at the beginning of this podcast around Christmas time. I was at the grocery store and caught myself like I do all the time, going to the grocery store in a hurry, rushing, and like, yeah, it's just, we're always there. So be there. We can't be anywhere other than here. We have nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go, friends. So just be here embodied in devotion to this, to you, and you will create more. Like, again, proof. I'm creating all of this. Somehow you're here. I'm currently working on business things that I don't love doing, but I know they're for a bigger picture. I'm not forcing doing them. If something like the other day, I felt more called to go to Victoria and get my nails done and get my ring, and I can't imagine if I had just been like, no, I should get this to-do list of things for the business done instead. That could totally happen the next day. So it wasn't procrastination. It was choosing what felt good then. And then the next day I did just focus. And yesterday I focused deeply on a lot of things I needed to get off that human checklist. But it felt good and it felt in flow and it was easy. I wasn't in resistance. So there you go. that's how we live in the New Earth paradigm, in flow, in frequency, in energy and vibration, instead of in thought and logic and figuring it out. Your human will have those things, but the more that your outside world starts to become proof of everything you know you're here to do that you don't understand because it's beyond words, but it's all the things you just feel called to create, and then magic and miracles appear out of nowhere, and the next thing you know, you're waking up every day talking to a mic to beings that are receiving what they need from you, just sharing in your journey. And it's magic. That's what this is to me. It's just magic. It's messy magic that is magnetizing who it's meant to, and that's what I wanted it to be. And yes, I will start to share it more and promote it more, because I do know, and Zero lets me know all the time. And that's why I signed up for this mastermind, and I'm working on the ways. But it's so important to me that I have the integrity and the authenticity in everything I put out, so that it just resonates with who it's meant to. And yeah, that's what you're here to do. So embody, devote to you, to your light, to your truth. Share your magic. Receive the miracles. It works, friends. You wouldn't be here if it didn't. We're co-creating this together. And I just love you so, so, so much. Also, I was curious this morning when I was doing my Miracle March water meditation. Are you still doing it? Now, I know who knows when you're hearing this, but I feel called to bring it through today. Maybe start now. Or what day are you on of waking up and giving yourself 5 minutes and 55 seconds to just breathe and be with a glass of water, and then speak to that water, pray to that water, love that water as it, and treat it as source. Treat it as source, because it is. Choose that it is going to activate you in ways beyond the words. And it's magic. We're on day what? I don't even know what day it is today. 25, maybe? Is it? I think I've done it every day and I'm loving it. I've done this already, like the waking up and starting my day, just 5 minutes, like nothing else, just me breathing, being, and then I'll do other practices and things. But yeah, just adding, where was I going with that? Adding the water has been really fun. And I feel like it's taken it to a new level for me. And I just feel that. So there you go. Okay. I love you. Me again. So if you're still here and you listen to all of that, I felt called to come back and say a little bit more that I just like processed as I was putting this video together, because it's a little bit more work for me today because I have to add audios to my video. But anyways, I realized that a big thing is like to understand about living in the new earth and creating what doesn't exist and being a channel is that we aren't here to recreate anything. So I think why this came through is that I honestly was like, I wanted to like re-channel what Zero said today. And then I heard from them, let it be easy. We've already said it. So there you go. It's just like, let it be easy, Courtney. Choose from embodiment. You don't need to channel us again. Just play the audio, because I felt like the message was meant to be heard by someone. So I'm assuming if you're still here, something resonated with you. And then I felt deeper to share in what I shared after that. So that's why I did that. So I just wanted to come on and like share even more messy magic with you in the unknown of like, I wanted to get that message across. And so I'm letting it be easy, acting from embodiment and devotion, not doubt and effort. So I am sharing what I've already created in a new way and not trying to recreate something that already exists, so that now I have time to create and play more. And I have more time now to do whatever wants to come through me next. So that just needed to come through for you for whatever reason. Thank you again for playing and creating with me today in the unknown. I love you so much. Let us know below where you're anchoring the light if you're still here, and which obviously you are. Whenever I say that and I hear myself back, I'm like, it's kind of funny. Anyways, I love you. That's all for me for now. Bye, friends.